All right, what is going on? Brandon Nimmo was just traded probably about 3 hours ago. I'm a little late to the party, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit. Won't be too long, but a lot to get into. A lot of questions. A lot of man. I don't even know what to say. Really, this is very shocking. They said Nimmo had a chance to be traded a couple weeks ago, but now here we are, and it actually happened. Adam Ottavino, a lot of Mets fans were all over him for saying that Nimmo wasn't going to be happy about the trade talks and that he might waive his no trade clause because of the trade talks. We're going to unpack everything as soon as we can. So I guess I will start off with saying I have very mixed feelings about this. Again, love Nimmo. Well, not again because I didn't even say anything about it yet. But Nimmo has been a lifelong Met, guys. He's been the heart, I don't want to say the heart and the soul of the team necessarily, because he isn't really like, I don't know. He's not a superstar, so a heart and soul of the team isn't like an average player like Nimmo is, but he's a lifelong Met. He has expressed how much he loves being a Met and how he wants to be here forever, and it's very tough. It's very tough to see him go. Very tough. Again, let's look at the pros and cons, though. Let me just get some stuff set up that I should have done beforehand. Very irresponsible, but give me 1 second here. Okay, that's set up for later. Okay. Let's start off with the positives. Here. Nimmo is 33 years old. That's first things first. Second, Nimmo is an average player, guys. He's owed $100+ million over the next 5 years. David Stearns doesn't want that. Okay? Again, I'm talking about the positive. So this is a positive. You're getting rid of an average player who has a 5-year contract worth has 5 years left on his contract, worth over $100 million. That is not in the future plans of this organization. He is not a good defender. He is not quick as he once was. He's an average hitter. I'm sorry, I love Nimmo to death. He is an average baseball player. Through and through. The cons are he is a lifelong Met. He has wore the Mets jersey with pride, like no other I've seen in my life other than maybe David Wright. He has expressed, I think back to 2023, that offseason, where Nimmo signed an 8-year deal worth however much the money was. And in that press conference, he put that jersey on and said, wow, it feels good to put this jersey on and know it's never coming off. I see that clip circling today, and I say, wow, this is really sad. Because it really is very sad. Lifelong Met, guys. Those don't grow on trees in Met land. But here we are. Nimmo's gone. Another con, I guess, to this trade is you are losing immensely in the clubhouse and offensively. You are losing a lot offensively, honestly. Nimmo is a solid hitter, not a superstar, but a solid hitter. A really, really solid hitter. And you look at his stats throughout the years, the on base has dropped a little. The power has went up, but the strikeouts have also went up with that as the home runs increase. So a lot I'm kind of at a loss for words, really. Usually I'm very prepared on what to say, and I have my script, and I have my script here now too. But man, Brandon, it feels weird to say Brandon Nimmo's not on the Mets. It's hard to collect my thoughts and make sense of the whole situation. I try to, pull out the pros and pull out the cons, but it's hard. It's really hard. Here's something else I'll say about Brandon Nimmo leaving. The core needed a change. I think everyone in the front office knew that the core needed a change. I think the fans wanted a change. And now, since this trade is happening, the fans are, how do I put it? They're thinking about this very emotionally. I feel that everyone is not viewing this trade with baseball intent. Everyone is viewing this trade as emotional. That's what they're viewing. They're viewing this as an emotional let go. And I understand, because I'm emotional as well as a big Met fan. I completely get it. But the worst part about trading Nimmo is you're losing that. The best part about trading Nimmo is you're gaining a lot defensively, not offensively. But I wanted to take a look at Marcus Semion's stats so we could kind of grasp what kind of player the Mets are getting in Marcus Semien. I didn't even mention so far that the Mets are getting Marcus Semien. I'm just assuming anyone who's watching this in the future knows that they had Marcus Semien in the deal. But let's look, okay? I'm not at a big, expected WOBA or ex-WOBA or expected batting average, expected slug. I'm not huge into those stats. But here's what I like to see. Right here. And I know David Stearns likes to see that as well. I like to see the base running value is still there at age 35, which is pretty crazy. And the fielding value, guys, the fielding value has been out of control for someone who's 35 and still holding a Gold Glove or holding himself to a Gold Glove standard at this age in his career. 92 percentile in range and fielding. As for Nimmo, it's not the same. Let's look at it. I mean, seriously. Base running value, whatever. The batting values, like I said, as average gets. Brandon Nimmo is as average gets. I'm aware the emotion behind it. I understand. Face value, this is not a good trade. I get it. You are losing offensively. And the Mets can't afford to lose offensively right now. So I understand the frustration. I really do. But if we scroll down and we look at the fielding, man, the arm isn't there. The arm strength isn't there. The range isn't there. He's not as quick as he used to be. I mean, this is what happens when you give, a average player an 8-year contract. A new GM comes in and says, we don't want this contract. We love him, but we don't want this contract. And I understand that to a degree. All right, I get it. So, I don't love the deal. I really don't. I don't hate it either. Again, I feel very, I guess just whatever about it. They gain defensively. They don't gain offensively. Not well put, but that's the reality of the situation. Another thing I wanted to add. We can't judge this trade until we see the full picture, guys. I know you're angry. I'm a bit angry as well. Marcus Semien is not the deciding factor of if you're going to win a World Series or if you're not going to win a World Series. That is a fact. We all know that. Marcus Semien is not putting you over the edge. But here's the thing. Nimmo wasn't either. Nimmo wasn't putting you over the edge. Okay? And on top of all of that, the main thing that I wanted to get into in this live, or in this video, is exactly this. The Mets needed a core change. That is a fact. They needed a core change, guys. This core wasn't doing it. You weren't winning with Nimmo. Another reason I think you can't judge this trade is because we haven't seen the full picture yet. I would be shocked if this is all that there is to come for the Mets. This is the beginning. What the Mets just did was free up a corner outfield spot that had a bad contract and he wasn't going to age well. Owed him a lot of money. Okay? On top of all of that, you now get elite defense at second base, which now means McNeil is most likely gone. Vientos is most likely gone because Stearns is emphasizing early we were a bottom 10 team in defense and we need to get better defensively if we want to win ball games. Clearly, that's the goal. Win baseball games. You come to the stadium every day and you want to win the game. I don't care how you do it. The fans don't care how you do it. Just win. Nimmo's great. I wouldn't say great, but he's good. Okay? He's a good player. He's as average gets. As how many times have I said it? In this live alone. I love Brandon Nimmo. He should have been a lifelong Met. I get your frustration as a fan. I'm frustrated too, because this was unexpected. But just because something's unexpected doesn't mean that it's not good. If this means that we could free up space and you could trade McNeil and get rid of that abysmal contract, I know it's only 1 year, but if you can get rid of that BS deal, please. If you can sign Kyle Tucker, trade for Tatis, or sign Bellinger, one of those guys, and replace him with Nimmo while adding elite defense at second base, sure. Sure thing. I also wanted to add on David Stearns. David Stearns gets a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate from me. He gets a lot of hate from the fan base. With all of that being said, I think David Stearns has a very articulate plan in mind. I think that Pete may be gone. If Nimmo's gone, I think Pete very well could be on his way out as well. Because I don't think they're going to give him the years that he wants, but that's another discussion. In speaking of David Stearns, I think that he's crazy, bold, and emotionless. Those are the three words I would use to describe David Stearns. Crazy, bold, and emotionless. He does not care that Brandon Nimmo was supposed to be a lifelong Met. He does not care that Pete Alonso set the franchise record in home runs. He does not care that Brandon Nimmo has 5 years left on his contract and should have his number retired as a Met. He does not care. What he cares about is putting the best team that he feels is the best team on the field each season. He's a very analytical guy. He's going to look at expected stats. He's going to want big defense. This is obviously known. All this trade means is that bigger things are to come. I offer you all a hypothetical. If the Mets end this offseason with Semien, Kyle Tucker, Pete Alonso, and whatever pitching they decide to go, is that a bad offseason? Right now, as the first move, face value, you say Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Semien. What are we doing? And it's shocking. And it's like, wow, Simeon's aging and he can't hit and he's still got 3 years left and we still got to pay him. And I understand that on the surface because it upset me too. But then I sat here and I was thinking about it. And I said, wow, this is actually starting to make sense to me. Because I was completely okay with trading Brandon Nimmo. I didn't want Marcus Semien as my return, but I was okay with trading him. Sometimes that's the way it goes. That's the business of baseball. And if this is the only move they make, and it's just like Pete, and then that's it, and a couple other pitchers, and they don't really replace Nimmo, no, it doesn't make any sense at all. But if they replace that corner outfielder with a proven stud bat in this lineup, I'm okay with it. And guys, let's not forget, Brandon Nimmo and Marcus Semien, offensively, it's not that much of a difference. You may think it is. It's not. I looked. Semien played, I think, he missed 40 games last year. And yes, health is a factor, but he missed 40 games last year. He had, 7 home runs less than Nimmo? Nimmo had 60 points higher in OPS. Nothing crazy. Trust me, nothing crazy. The end of the day, this was not a bad trade. With all that being said, quick little rant. I guess not a rant, just getting some shit off my chest. We'll try to go live again tomorrow and get some viewers and callers in here. I started very late tonight. Had some technical difficulties, but we'll get back on tomorrow and hopefully have some of you guys watching, and you guys could give a call in, and I would love to talk with my fans and see what's going on, because I interact a lot better that way with you guys. So with that being said, I will see you guys in tomorrow's live.